Vivo X200 Pro was recently released, and as always, it has some crazy specs. It has a new telephoto lens with macro capabilities with a sensor size 2.2 times larger than the one on the S24 Ultra. The battery capacity is 6000 mAh, which is 20% larger than the capacity on the S24 Ultra. It comes with a new MediaTek 3nm chipset compared to the 4nm chipset from Qualcomm Snapdragon on the S24 Ultra. But how do these specs affect real life? I am Mo and I will answer your questions today about the Vivo X200 Pro, and Vivek is helping me in this video. As always, I bought both phones with my own money. I bought the S24 Ultra in January from Samsung directly and the Vivo X200 Pro from a website called Trading Shenzhen, which I will put the link in the description below. Starting with the display, the Vivo X200 Pro is slightly curved compared to the flat display on the S24 Ultra. Both phones are bright enough under sunlight. The difference is the S24 Ultra display has anti-reflective properties, but the X200 Pro does not. On paper, the X200 Pro gets brighter to 200 nits compared to the 1500 nits on the S24 Ultra, but I think it is nicer to use the S24 Ultra under the sun. I played HDR content in 4K on both phones, and the colors are vivid and have great contrast. Vivo X200 Pro is the first phone with a Zeiss certified screen. Both have similar screen sizes, but the one on the S24 Ultra has a higher pixel density. The camera is the place where the Vivo X200 Pro shines the most. Like the last generation, which was the Vivo X100, they again partnered with a German company called Zeiss, and on their camera system, they have a Zeiss TSR glass that helps mitigate the flare on the lenses. There are 3 lenses on the Vivo X200 Pro, an ultra-wide, a wide, and a telephoto lens. The S24 has 2 telephoto lenses. That said, I find the quality of the single telephoto lens on the Vivo X200 Pro outmatch the two on the S24 Ultra for an obvious reason. The sensor size of the telephoto lens on the Vivo X200 Pro is 2.2 times larger than the S24 Ultra, and it will let more light in. On top of that, it is 200 megapixel compared to 50 megapixel. Also, I find the colors on the Vivo X200 Pro much closer to reality compared to the S24 Ultra. If you look at these pictures, you will notice that the Vivo pictures are cleaner, less noisy, and have more details in them. Let me know down in the comments if your eyes see the same thing as I do. I used to love my S24 Ultra telephoto lens, but now that I'm using the one from Vivo, I wish the telephoto lens on Ultra was faster and larger. Vivo can shoot in 3 modes. You can change between vivid, textured, and Zeiss profiles. I find the colors on Zeiss better compared to vivid, but since I'm shooting in default mode, I'll continue shooting on vivid in this video. The Vivo X200 Pro also has macro telephoto mode, which is super nice. You can shoot macro shots from a distance without needing to get close to the subject, and also find proportion nicer when pictures are shot that way. Here you can see how different the Vivo pictures look from the one on the S24 Ultra. There are more details and colors are rendered better. This is probably the most interesting photography mode for being creative. I also tested this on new Huawei phones and recently on Xperia 1 Mark VI, and I hope we see the same feature on the Galaxy S24 Ultra too. Most of the shots you see here are taken from a distance of half a meter from the subject. Both phones have a portrait video mode, which focuses on the subject and blurs the background. I find the Vivo better at focusing on the subject and keeping it. On the other hand, it was choppy on some occasions and even stuttered. It is most likely a software issue, and I hope it gets fixed. Or maybe I was just unlucky in this instance. Vivo also supports log, but I haven't tested it yet. When it comes to portrait, I prefer to shoot with a telephoto lens, which is the 3.7 times zoom on Vivo X200 Pro and the 3 or 5 times telephoto zoom on the S24 Ultra. This is similar to an 85mm lens on a full-frame camera and is the lens most photographers shoot portraits on. Both Vivek and I prefer the shots on the Vivo X200 Pro, especially when it comes to skin tone. The S24 Ultra makes the skin tone too orange for our taste. For the video on portrait mode, I find the video on the Vivo X200 Pro on the left side more clear compared to the one taken from the S24 Ultra, but the skin tone is very similar on both phones. In general, when it comes to videography, I find both phones close to each other in terms of color science and quality on the ultra-wide and wide lenses. Write down in the comments if I'm the only one who thinks this way. The only difference is shown by the telephoto lens. Also, the S24 Ultra has this gray effect, which is not super nice, due to the lifting shadows. Another annoying thing about the S24 Ultra that does not exist on the Vivo X200 Pro is shutter lag. As you can see in these pictures, the Vivo X200 Pro captured the cyclist without any shutter lag. It is obvious there is a motion, but the photo is not completely blurred out. When it comes to night photos, especially with the telephoto lens, it is not even a competition. The Vivo X200 Pro takes miles better shots with tons of details. It also lifts the shadows slightly more, and the exposure is higher. This portrait shot clearly shows how well the large sensor on the Vivo X200 Pro performs compared to S24 Ultra. It physically hurts me to see how my personal phone lags in camera quality at night, and I'm seriously considering switching to Vivo. I'll do a full camera comparison of the Vivo with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the S24 Ultra later, so don't forget to subscribe to not miss that video. Let's also check the selfie quality at night together with the mic test. The one on the left is Vivo, the one on the right is Galaxy, and I feel like the one on Vivo is brighter, the one on Galaxy is a little bit dark, but also it is complete darkness right now. You can also check the microphones. I'm actually going to pause to pick my Xiaomi 15. I also bought it from China, this site called Trading Shenzhen. It's super cool. I think I bought it like a few days ago and it's already here. For performance, I did run some tests with Antutu and 3D Mark benchmarks. First, I put the Vivo X200 Pro on performance mode. I ran the Antutu test, and interestingly, the S24 Ultra hit 40 degrees Celsius first, which is 104 Fahrenheit, while the Vivo with Dimensity 9400 stayed a couple of degrees lower. In general, during the day, I never had overheating issues with the Vivo X200 Pro, and the phone was already under 32 degrees. By the end of the test, the S24 Ultra was slightly cooler, but the reason is that the S24 Ultra throttles at a much lower temperature compared to other phones. The result under the condition I tested was 2.6 million for Vivo and 1.7 million for the S24 Ultra. Also, Vivo got around 2 times better GPU score compared to the S24 Ultra. Then I ran the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme test, which is for the graphics unit and relevant if you're into playing video games. Again, the S24 Ultra was slightly hotter during the test, which makes sense since the chipset is the last generation 4nm, while Vivo has the latest 3nm chipset from MediTek. Vivo scored around 6K, while the S24 Ultra got 4.3K. Also, this chart says it all. The Vivo X200 Pro scored better than 97% of other users, which is crazy if you think about it. It is probably one of the best phones for gaming out there right now. Finally, the battery life. After all the tests I've done, including the camera comparison, watching YouTube, and the benchmarks, the Vivo X200 Pro has 72 battery percent left, while the S24 Ultra has 52 battery left. Most of the time, the phones were on 5G. I should note that the S24 Ultra has already gone over 100 battery cycles, which could also affect the results. Also, I feel the recent updates have negatively affected the S24 Ultra battery life. I find the battery life on Vivo great, and it does not have heating issues. It seems like the MediaTek chipset is efficient this year, but I should also compare it to the new Snapdragon Elite because everything is relative. S24 Ultra comes without a charger in the box and is up to 45 watts. The good thing about Vivo is that not only there is a charger in the box with the phone supporting up to 90 watts, but also there is a case with the same color as the phone and a protective glass pre-installed on the phone, which is great for me since it was difficult to find a case in Amazon for Vivo. Regarding 5G connection, the Vivo X200 Pro I bought has a Chinese ROM, but it does support all the bands you need in Europe. I didn't encounter any connection issues and always got 3 or 4 out of 4 signal bars in the past few days. The only thing you may need to know is that since it is Chinese ROM, some parts are written in Chinese, and the UI is not as clean as the One UI on the S24 Ultra. Besides that, I can install all the software I need from Google Play, and I haven't encountered any issues. In conclusion, I think the S24 Ultra is a safer choice to buy in Europe and North America because of a cleaner software and better local support. That said, I see that the Vivo X200 Pro clearly has some hardware advantages over the S24 Ultra, especially regarding camera quality, and it is also noticeably cheaper. The performance, battery, and telephoto camera are better on Vivo. The Galaxy S24 Ultra offers better support and has S Pen and an anti-reflective display. If you like this video, you could see the camera comparison of these two phones with the iPhone 16 Pro Max next, that is coming out soon, or the comparison of the S24 Ultra versus the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Thanks for tuning into TechMo, and I will see you in the next one.